Hi, everybody. How are you doing today? Today, we are going to do some of the ACT test questions together. Um, and so, good luck to all the students setting for the April, uh, round of the test. Without further ado, let's share the PowerPoint together. All right, so this is one of the previous tests of the ACT, and we're going to do a passage from the English test. Yeah, raptors, including eagles, hawks, therefore normally shed their feathers slowly, one or two at a time. So, which choice would be most consistent with the way the feather shedding process has been described up to this point? Yeah, in an all at once blizzard, often losing them in clumps, leaving them flightless. I think one at a time because they shed their feathers slowly. So, A, no change would be the best answer. If we look at 62, right? Yes. Uh, is not an incidental matter to raptors, most of which are diurnal. So 62 here, he says, no change. Raptors, raptors, most of which are mainly active during the day, that is diurnal. Raptors, daytime hunting. So remember that diurnal is being repeated in H and J, and F also, no change. They repeat this word, okay? And so if we read from the beginning, the premature loss of a flight feather to injury then is not an incidental matter to raptors. So I think we would just go with the shortest answer here because wordiness is not much appreciated in the ACT, and all the rest are the same, but this one is more suitable here. So G is the best answer. If we go to 63 here, okay. All right, if a feather break off with the stub of its hollow quill shaft still in place, the bird's body mistakenly believes the feather is whole. So he's saying which of the following alternatives to the underlined portion is not or would not be acceptable. So whole is complete. Whole could be sound, like healthy, intact, but total is not the best answer here, is not acceptable. So the best answer or the correct answer is C. If we go to 64, yeah, here, quills are hollow, so the removal of a quill stub before it is ready, blah, blah, blah. So given that all the choices are true, which one most clearly provides a reason for the statement that follows in this sentence? Should we leave it as it is, quills are hollow, or fasten deeply, break occasionally, are very light? Yeah, so the removal is before it's ready to be naturally shed would be very painful to the animal. So it would be very painful. We should choose G, fasten deeply, because the feather is fastened to the bird very, strongly. So if you try to remove it without it is shed naturally, that would be very painful to the animal. So the best answer is G. If we look at 65, okay, removal of a quill stub before it is ready. It is ready. So a change, no change is the best answer. It's talking about a quill, one quill stub. So we cannot say they are, we cannot say those are, and we cannot say that is ready. before it is ready. Okay, so no change is the best answer here. If we move to 66, he says, therefore, treat broken raptor feathers through imping or buying dash the implanting of a new feather into the quill. Should we say that, or should we use uh, colon as in G, or F, which is the, or H, we use a full stop, or then J, we use a comma. We use a full stop because that's a complete sentence. We say treat the broken raptor feathers through imping or impying. Then we put a period or full stop. Then we start the new sentence, the implanting of a new feather into the quill stop. Okay, so H would be the best answer here. If we look, we move to 67 here, it says uh, on each wing, all flighted birds having 10 primary flight feathers, blah, blah, blah. No change, or birds by having, or birds which have, or birds have. We should just say D. We go for the simplest answer since it's correct. It reads that all flighted birds have 10 primary flight feathers. Very good, understandable, no problem at all. Remember, go with the choice that has no punctuation. Go for the shortest and simplest answer if it's correct. So here, 67, the best answer is D. If we move to 68 here, all right, each one shaped slight different. Okay, no change. That doesn't sound uh, correct. Shaped, slight, different. We should have like an adverb here. So slight differently, no. Slightly differently, yes. That sounds correct. J, slightly more different. So I think H is the best answer. Shaped slightly differently, or shaped slightly different. If we have that choice, either of them would be correct. So H is the best answer here. So if we move to 69, the writer is considering revising the preceding sentence to read as follows. Okay, yeah. How does it read now? If necessary, a number 6 or 8 feather can be cut to the shape of a number 7 feather. If the writer did this, the sentence would primarily lose a sense of how, okay, limited rehabilitators' feather collections are, delicate the work being described is, different each bird flight feathers is, easy it is to replace a number 7 feather. If necessary, a number 6 or 8 feather can be cut to the shape of a number 7 feather. If we do that, the best answer would be uh, it gives us a sense, or it loses the sense of how delicate the work being described is. Okay? Yes, it's not easy to do that to a bird. If we move to 70, so the best choice for 69 is B. 70 says the repaired feather will be equal in length to the original whole feather. Okay, so 70, um, if it reads like this, the bird's body, still in the bird's body, the repaired feather will be equal in length to the original. Okay, so no choice, or no change, or be actually long, be equally long. Okay, equal the length, or equal in length. Okay, We cannot say will equal in length or will equal because after the auxiliary we should use be equal, not will equal. Okay, will be equally long. Okay, yeah. Uh, I think the best answer here would be F, will be equal in length. Equally long is not going to be the same. Will be equal in length. So 70 F is the best answer. Okay, how about 71? Here it reads, next, the rehabilitator whittles a bamboo chopstick to duplicate the curve, the slant of the complete feather shaft. Okay, so I think no change because after this he's describing what they do in case of replacing a feather of the raptor. So he's just describing the process and then says next. So that sounds to be the correct answer. It doesn't fit to say however or finally or something. He's in the process of describing how they replace the broken feather or something. So he was saying this and then says next and so on. Okay, so if we go to 72, light bamboo stick, glue, just a touch is applied. So in 72, no change. A touch of glue is applied by the rehabilitator. The application of a touch of glue follows. The rehabilitator applies a touch of glue. Okay? So light bamboo stick, the rehabilitator applies a touch of glue. Let's read it from the beginning. After sliding the shaft of the replacement feather over the sturdy light bamboo stick, the rehabilitator applies. So I think J makes the most sense here. If you read it from the beginning, after sliding, the rehabilitator applies a touch of glue. So J would be the best answer here. Okay? Yes. Then 73 here reads, the Raptor now has a rebuilt functional feather period eventually. So what should we do to this sentence to replace it? Should we say, yeah, he's asking what choice would not be acceptable, would not be acceptable, okay? Functional feather, and full stop, eventually it will be. So it's correct the way it is, but if you want to replace it with something that doesn't make sense or is least acceptable, what should we say? Should we say feather, semicolon, eventually it? It is the same as 73, it's correct. Or should we say B, feather, comma, eventually, comma? I think this would be least acceptable. Feather, comma, which eventually, feather, that eventually. I think B would be the least acceptable because he's using a comma and then continuing with another independent clause. So we cannot link two independent clauses with a comma unless we use one of the fanboys with the comma. In other words, and, or, after, and, or, but, nor, and so forth. Okay? So here he uses eventually. You cannot use eventually. It's not one of the fanboys. So B is the correct answer. It is the least appropriate choice to the meaning here. How about 74? Allowing a new complete feather to grow in its place. So no change in its place, in it is or in its place. So grow in its. So G is the best answer. It's just a question about possessive pronoun its. We cannot use it is, but it is its because it says the complete feather to grow in its place. It's just a possessive pronoun question. In 75, at this point, the writer is considering adding the following true statement. This imping procedure is just one of the many responsibilities bird rehabilitators have. Should the writer make this addition here? Okay. Yes, because it reveals the relative importance of imping compared to the other work. Yes, because it reinforces the idea that imping is a great benefit to raptors. No, because it goes beyond the scope of the essay, which focuses on how the feathers of certain types of birds are reared. Yeah, I think C would be the best answer. No, because it undermines the essay's earlier claim that imping is the most important work. I think he is dedicating the whole reading passage here for how the feathers of certain types of birds are reared. And so saying this here would not be appropriate. So we should not uh, add the emping procedure is just one of the many responsibilities bird rehabilitators have here because no, we shouldn't do that here because it goes beyond the scope of the essay. This would be the best answer. Sometimes you need to go back to read a little bit, to know the general atmosphere or what the writer is talking about to decide on the best answer. Anyway, you look at the question first. If you can find the answer without reading any further in other parts, that's fine. If not, you very quickly go and uh, get the general meaning or what is the writer focusing on to answer that type of question. Again, in the actual test, if you don't have time for this question that requires you to read a little bit while you don't have time, just make any choice, right? Focus on the shorter questions that you can answer quickly because you have time limits and leave this one or two questions that require some time to the end. If you have that time, go ahead and read a little bit more to find the correct answer. If not, just make a choice. Never leave a question unanswered. Thank you very much for following. We will meet in the next one. Thank you very much.